Today, we're really getting into something fundamental.
Absolutely. Foundational even.
Yeah, we're trying to extract the real meaning of family.
Right. And not just, the dictionary definition.
Exactly. We're moving past that. We've got this amazing stack of sources, really intimate stuff from two people, Johnny and Sarah.
Mm-hmm. And they've really opened up their worlds, haven't they?
They really have. Their family structures, the lessons they learned, their traditions. Some of them pretty funny, actually.
Yeah, I saw that. The flawed ones are often the best.
Totally. So the mission for you, our listener, is to kind of synthesize all this.
Right. We want to understand what family does, the practical application.
How does that support work? That connection, resilience.
Yeah.
These anecdotes, they really light it up.
They do. We're looking at everything from these deep emotional definitions right down to specific holiday rituals.
Those personal mishaps, yeah. The leaning tent, we'll get to that.
Oh, we have to get to the leaning tent.
So our goal is to build a kind of blueprint from these real stories.
A blueprint of connection, of security, using their candid experiences.
We're really extracting the foundation of family here.
One funny disaster, one patient moment at a time.
Yeah. And what's great about this source material, this conversational text, is how it links the big ideas like, love and belonging.
The philosophical stuff.
Right, with the day-to-day reality, the messy stuff.
Yeah, the mundane. It connects the ideal with the lived experience.
So we're basically analyzing the system, right? The system that builds that security you need to face the world.
That's it. The system that lets you thrive.
Okay, so let's unpack that first big question. Why?
Right.
Why is family, however you define it, just so essential?
Well, Johnny jumps right in, doesn't he? He calls his family his safe place.
That phrase, safe place, it feels so fundamental.
It really is. It's like the absolute starting block for human development.
Starting block. How so?
It's recognizing that this is the main spot, the primary location, where you get unconditional acceptance.
Ah, right. The sources mentioned being able to be myself without judgment.
Exactly. And think about that psychologically. Non-judgmental acceptance. It actually reduces your cognitive load.
Reduces cognitive load.
Yeah.
That's an interesting way to put it. Explain that.
Well, think about it. If you're constantly on, performing, policing your emotions when you're outside the home.
Yeah, it's exhausting.
It is exhausting. And it drains the energy you need for other things like learning or engaging authentically.
Okay, so the safe place frees up mental energy.
Precisely. If you really trust that your core people love you no matter what mistakes, failures, bad moods.
You stop pretending.
You stop spending energy maintaining a facade.
Yeah.
And that trust, that reservoir, lets you dedicate your mental resources to challenges outside the home.
Learning, taking risks, solving problems.
All of it. It comes back to that feeling Johnny mentioned, that they're always there for me no matter what.
That's the anchor, isn't it?
The ultimate emotional anchor, especially against, the transactional nature of so much of the rest of the world.
Okay, so family provides the anchor, but it also has to provide the sailing instructions, maybe.
Good analogy. Yeah, which brings us straight to family as the primary teacher, the foundation.
Sarah explicitly calls them her first teachers.
Right. And we need to look at what they're teaching. It's not just, multiplication tables.
No, the sources mention specific values. Kindness, hard work.
Core stuff. The ethical framework you need to function out there. But the one that really jumped out at me.
What was it?
How to laugh.
How to laugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I paused on that too. It sounds simple, but maybe it's not.
I don't think it is simple at all.
We think of humor as just like a reaction to something funny. But this sounds like it's a learned skill.
Or modeled behavior, definitely. Maybe even a coping mechanism. What does learning how to laugh mean in this context?
Well, Johnny's dad, Robert, was the funny one, right? Always tells jokes.
Exactly. So when humor is actively modeled like that, it acts as a crucial pressure release valve for the whole family system.
Ah, okay. So intense moments or when things go wrong.
Like the camping disaster we keep mentioning.
Right. Humor reframes it. It stops being a crisis and starts being a shared story.
A shared memory. It teaches that life's bumps, those imperfections, they can actually be sources of connection, not conflict.
So learning to laugh is learning emotional agility, using humor to handle things.
I think so. To diffuse, to connect, to just move forward. It's part of the emotional toolkit they're building.
And these lessons, the sources say, they happen through little lessons every day.
That's key. It's not like there's a scheduled class on being kind 101.
No.
It's continuous. It's passive learning, almost by osmosis.
Seeing your parents be kind day in, day out.
Exactly. To you, to your sibling, to the person at the checkout counter. The environment is the classroom, constantly.
And when you learn values that way, through just routine interaction,
They get internalized, don't they? They become subconscious, part of who you are, much more powerful than a lecture.
okay, let's shift gears a bit. Talk about the hard stuff.
Right. Resilience, strength, getting through difficulties.
The sources say that even if the family doesn't have an answer, just talking helps.
This is such a critical point about communication. It's often misunderstood.
How so?
Well, when you're anxious or overwhelmed, your limbic system, your emotional brain is firing like crazy.
Right. You feel it physically.
Totally. But just saying the problem out loud, verbalizing it within that safe family space, it gives you what psychologists sometimes call cognitive processing space.
Cognitive processing space.
Yeah.
How does just talking create space?
By getting it out, you externalize it. You move it, conceptually at least, from that raw emotional state into your frontal cortex, the thinking part of your brain.
So talking helps you structure it, make sense of it.
Exactly. You start to categorize the risk, maybe see a path forward, even if the person listening just nods and says,
You don't even need to give advice.
Often, no. The act of sharing itself diffuses the immediate panic, lets the rational brain come back online. The family just needs to provide the safe container for that sharing.
So the role isn't always problem solver, it's safe sounding board.
Very often, yes.
Yeah.
But they also mentioned explicit teaching around resilience.
Right. Being taught to try your best, and even if I fail to try again.
That's the core lesson for growth, isn't it? Think about what that inoculates you against.
Perfectionism.
Definitely perfectionism. And the fear of failure, which is huge for so many people today.
Yeah.
If failure is consistently framed not as the end, but as like an expected, necessary step towards getting better.
Then you learn grit. Persistence.
You learn grit. Failure becomes temporary data, not a final judgment. The family is implicitly saying, your value isn't tied to your success rate.
It's tied to your willingness to try. And try again.
Exactly. Your willingness to engage with the challenge.
Which brings us beautifully to just simple togetherness and unconditional love.
Sarah mentioned valuing just spending time, even if we are doing nothing special.
That really resonated. In our world, everything feels like it needs to be an event. Optimized, Instagrammable.
Right. There's so much pressure to curate every moment. But these sources push back.
Saying the real comfort, the real security, it's in the mundane stuff.
The low effort moments, the baseline reality of just sharing space, being in the same room.
Why is that so crucial for unconditional love? Those low effort times.
Because they create a state of low stakes shared vulnerability.
Low stakes vulnerability.
Yeah. If you only ever get together for big planned events, the value feels attached to the event. But if you're just, say, reading quietly in the same room.
Or sitting on the sofa watching TV.
Doing nothing special, like Sarah said. You're not performing. You're just existing together.
And being accepted just as you are in that ordinary state.
That acceptance of your unvarnished everyday self. That's the purest form of unconditional love. It fosters that deep security Johnny talked about, that feeling of being very secure in the world.
So to kind of wrap up this first section, family's role is complex.
It's definitely multidimensional. It's about protecting you inwardly, that safe place, lowering the cognitive load.
And preparing you outwardly.
Right. Teaching grit, kindness, how to laugh, that emotional agility we talked about. It's both a shield and a training ground.
Okay, so we've established the why, the fundamental psychological needs family meets. Now let's get into the who.
Right. Section 2 gives us the cast of characters, doesn't it? The people actually doing this stuff in Johnny's and Sarah's lives.
This is where the abstract ideas get grounded in personality.
Let's start with Johnny's immediate family. You see complementary roles right away.
Yeah, the mother, Maria, described as very kind, very patient.
She sounds like the emotional bedrock, doesn't she? Providing that stability needed for the safe place.
Definitely. But it's not just passive kindness. She also loves to cook.
And her food is the best. That's important.
Why specifically the food being the best?
Because cooking, providing food, it's such a primal, tangible way of showing care and effort. It connects directly back to that idea of unconditional support. It's love made edible.
The culinary anchor. Kindness and patience set the emotional tone. Cooking provides the ritual of care.
Okay. And then you contrast Maria with the father, Robert. He's the funny fixer.
Right. Always tells jokes, brings the lightness, but also very good at fixing things around the house.
That combination feels really significant for how the family functions.
Stunny fixer.
Yeah.
Okay, let's push on that a bit.
Yeah.
If Maria is the patient, kind, emotional center, is Robert's humor just like entertainment? Or does it serve a deeper structural purpose in the family system?
Oh, I think it's deeply structural. Think about it. If one person, Maria, carries the weight of being the calm patient center.
That could be a lot of pressure.
Exactly. Robert's humor is the release valve. It injects lightness, prevents things from getting too heavy or tense.
So when stress pops up, his jokes kind of reset the emotional thermostat.
That's a great way to put it. It supports Maria's ability to remain patient. He provides the cognitive breaks, stops small frustrations boiling over.
Okay, that makes a lot of sense. He stops the system overheating.
Right. And then there's the sister, Laura, younger, very artistic, loves drawing, painting, and very smart.
So she brings a different dimension.
Totally. Creative intelligence, expressive exploration. Her presence shows the family values more than just, say, practical skills like Robert's fixing or emotional stability like Maria's.
They're nurturing different kinds of intelligence side by side.
Practical, emotional, creative, all valued within that same family ecosystem. It's quite balanced.
Now let's switch to Sarah's family. A different vibe, it seems.
A different dynamic, yeah. The mother, Jane, very energetic and organized, loves gardening and reading.
Jane sounds like the engine of the family, the one driving activity, creating structure.
Clearly. Her organization probably shapes the family's rhythm, and gardening and reading, that suggests cultivating growth, both physically and intellectually. She's the structured initiative.
And the father, Tom, provides the counterpoint. Very calm, thoughtful, loves history, helping people.
He's the reflective balance to Jane's energy. Calmness, thoughtfulness, his interests, history, helping people suggests a focus on meaning, on community.
Which we see later in their volunteering.
Exactly. So you have Jane's energetic structure balanced by Tom's calm reflection. It's a system where action is probably guided by thought, very balanced in its own way.
And then their son, Ben, the older brother, super athletic, especially soccer, and very protective in a good way.
Ben represents the active defense, maybe, the physical competence of the unit.
Protective in a good way, that qualifier is interesting.
It implies he's using his strength or status responsibly, applying those family lessons of support externally, perhaps, to Sarah.
It reinforces that idea of the family as a team. Different roles, organizer, reflector, protector, all working together.
Absolutely. So you have these two distinct family architectures, right?
Yeah. Johnny's and Decay. Anchored in gentle emotion, humor, practical skills.
Yeah.
Sarah's, anchored in energetic structure, calm reflection, community focus, both clearly effective.
Both creating that foundation. Now let's look at the scale they operate on, the extended family.
Right, the wider network. Both seem to have pretty large ones.
They do. Johnny mentions 2 aunts on his mom's side, 1 uncle on his dad's, and about 10 cousins.
And the description of gatherings. A lot of people and a lot of noise.
But crucially, fun noise.
That distinction feels important. Fun noise. What does that signal?
It signals high social capital within the group, a tolerance, even enjoyment, of natural, uninhibited expression.
It means the energy is positive, accepted, not chaotic or stressful noise.
Exactly. It's the sound of joyful engagement, not frustration. People feel free to be themselves, loudly if needed.
And Sarah's extended family is even larger.
Seems so. 1 uncle, 2 aunts on mom's side, 3 aunts on dad's side, and maybe 15 or more cousins.
Wow. That's a crowd.
And her description emphasizes lots of talking and eating and that everyone is very close.
15 cousins.
Ah.
That's like a built-in peer group right there.
It really is. For both Johnny and Sarah, this big network isn't just extra people at holidays. It's a continuous social proving ground.
Learning social skills, dealing with different personalities, figuring out where you fit.
All under that umbrella of shared family connection and values. It provides a buffer.
A buffer.
Yeah, societal buffer. If things get tough socially outside the family, you have this dense, guaranteed network to fall back on. It reinforces the foundation the immediate family built. The sheer number of connections provides resilience.
Okay, let's move into section 3, binding rituals. If the last section was about the people, this is about the actions that glue them together over time.
Right. The repeating patterns that build group identity and memory. This is the connective tissue.
And the details of these rituals are fascinating. It's how that family culture gets passed down.
Exactly. Let's break down Sarah's big one, Christmas Eve dinner, December 24th.
It sounds like a major operation. The whole extended family, grandparents included, at her parents' house.
And notice the effort involved. My mom and my aunts cook all day.
That's not trivial. It's a huge investment of time and energy.
Which signals how much the gathering itself is valued. The preparation is part of the ritual, demonstrating love through labor.
But the core ritual, the really potent part,
Has to be the dad, Tom, reading the Christmas story.
from a very old book. They explicitly call it an old family tradition,
That's powerful. It's injecting narrative continuity right into the present moment.
using a very old book. They're literally touching their history, holding an artifact.
Exactly. The story becomes more than just a story. It's a ritualistic act connecting them to their past, grounding them in this shared, ongoing narrative.
And the atmosphere sounds deliberate too. Singing carols, an uncle playing guitar, cozy and warm.
It's a full sensory immersion, isn't it? Designed to create strong memories. Sight, smell from the food, sound from the music, maybe even the feel of that old book. It's focused on shared history, shared reflection.
Okay, now let's contrast that with Johnny's Thanksgiving. Very different feel.
Totally different emphasis. Where Sarah's is indoors, reflective, focused on a historical text.
Johnny's is outdoors, active, almost elemental.
Right. They travel to the grandparents' house who live on a farm. That immediately connects the celebration to the land, to nature.
Grandma cooks the big turkey dinner again, that shared food element.
But look what happens after the meal.
The football game, or soccer, as they clarified, everyone playing in the field. Even Grandpa sometimes joins in.
This is active physical bonding. It perfectly reflects what we heard about Johnny's family. The humor, the energy, maybe the dad's fixer energy channeled into play.
It's competitive, but fun. A safe space for that energy release.
And it connects generations through doing something together, physically, rather than just sitting and reflecting.
And then the evening ritual reinforces that elemental feel.
The big bonfire, telling stories, roasting marshmallows, also called an old family tradition.
So Sarah's family uses the old book, a structure, a piece of recorded history.
While Johnny's uses fire, a primal element associated with community, storytelling, warmth. Both achieve the same goal, right? Creating these intense, shared memories that cement who they are as a group.
Exactly. But their methods perfectly mirror their family personalities, structured reflection versus kinetic engagement. Fascinating.
It really is. Now, what about the smaller, maybe more frequent rituals? The weekly or annual ones, do they matter as much?
Oh, arguably more, cumulatively. They shape the rhythm of everyday life. Look at Johnny's Sunday night ritual.
Pizza night. Ordering in, watching a movie. Sounds simple.
It is simple, and that's the point. It's the definition of low-stakes comfort. Predictable, no pressure.
It's their time to just relax, just be together.
The simplicity is almost strategic, isn't it? It lowers the barrier to connection. Even if everyone's tired from the week, they have this scheduled, deliberate pause.
The family's reset button.
Yeah. Now compare that to Sarah's New Year's Day ritual. Equally simple, but different intent.
The long walk together in a nearby park.
This feels very symbolic. They call it a fresh start for the year. Linking the family's intention for the future with physical movement, with nature, it sounds quite mindful.
And they describe it as peaceful. A real contrast to the sort of cozy inactivity of Johnny's pizza night.
So rituals can be about winding down, like the pizza.
Or about intentionally setting a course, like the walk. Internal decompression versus forward motion.
But the common thread seems to be carving out dedicated time.
Absolutely. Whether it's grand or simple, these rituals clearly mark out time where the family says, okay, internal connection is the priority now. External demands get put on hold.
They become reliable anchors in what can be a pretty chaotic schedule.
Predictable touch points. Really vital.
Okay, section 4. Shared life in motion. If rituals are the scheduled anchors, this feels like the everyday stuff, the regular activities where they practice being a family.
Yeah, the cooperative exercises, you could say, where those foundational skills from section 1 get put into practice. Teamwork and action.
Johnny's family cooking together on weekends is a prime example.
It really is. And notice they try new recipes. Italian, Mexican, American. So it's not just routine. There's an element of shared learning, exploring diversity together.
And the roles. Dad chops, sister sets the table, Johnny helps mix.
That structure is fascinating. It's not just getting the job done. It's like mini management training.
Explain that.
Well, everyone has clear ownership, responsibility for a part of the final outcome, the meal.
Which they always eat together at the big dining table. That feels important, too.
Absolutely. The whole process, from prep to consumption, is shared. They're learning practical skills, sure, chopping, mixing.
But also cooperation, mutual dependence.
Exactly. The dad, the fixer, models competence. The sister learns presentation. Johnny learns process. It transforms a basic need eating into this rich social and skill-building event.
Okay, turning to Sarah's family. Their regular activities lean differently.
Towards the outdoors, towards mindfulness, which fits perfectly with Jane's energy and Tom's reflective nature, hiking in nature.
They take frequent trips to national park trails. The sources say it's about enjoying fresh air, pointing out plants and birds.
And explicitly, to just be present with each other. That's active relational mindfulness.
Why hiking, though? If the goal is presence, couldn't they just sit quietly at home?
They could, but hiking offers something different. It removes the usual home distractions, screens, chores, phones.
Right. Forces you off grid a bit.
And it forces engagement through shared sensory input. You're both looking at the same bird, the same view, feeling the same breeze. Your attention synchronizes naturally.
Shared focus on something external.
Makes internal connection easier sometimes, less pressure for constant talk. It's a great fit for Jane's energy needing an outlet and Tom's thoughtfulness finding expression in nature.
Makes sense. Okay, what about shared fun? Both families seem to do structured play.
Game nights, board games like Monopoly, Scrabble, card games.
They sound potentially intense.
They admit they get very competitive.
Right.
But, and this is the crucial part, it's always with good humor, described as happy loud.
Happy loud. Love that.
Yeah.
So game nights are like practice for life.
Absolutely. A safe, controlled sandbox for dealing with competition, managing frustration when you lose, handling winning gracefully, testing boundaries, resolving little conflicts.
All within that safety net where you know the relationships are solid, regardless of who wins Monopoly.
Precisely. You learn emotional regulation in a fun context.
And the flip side they mention is watching sports together. More passive.
More passive, yeah, but highly communal. Sitting on the sofa, snacks, cheering loudly, sometimes going to live games.
What's the bonding mechanism there?
Collective effervescence, maybe. That shared feeling of excitement, anticipation, maybe disappointment, directed at something outside the family.
Synchronizing emotions again, but this time as an audience.
Right. Shared emotional release. It strengthens the os against the them of the opposing team, even if it's just for fun.
But then there are the really quiet activities. Maybe the most important.
Could be the simple evening talking, after dinner, living room, just chatting.
Discussing the day, the news, telling stories.
This is the system's daily maintenance routine. It's how everyone stays aware of what's going on in each other's lives, emotionally and practically.
Where you check in, offer reassurance, maybe share those little lessons.
Exactly. If you skip this too often, the system starts to lose track. Small issues don't get aired or repaired and can grow. It's the slow, steady work of maintaining that emotional foundation.
And one more from Sarah's family. Volunteering together.
Yeah, helping at animal shelters, cleaning up a park.
This feels like a direct application of their stated values.
It really does. You see Tom's helping people interest and Jane's organized energy combining perfectly here,
They're using their shared family time not just for themselves, but to give back.
which teaches empathy, civic duty, and it externalizes their family kindness. It turns their values into action in the community.
While still spending time together doing something productive.
Purpose-driven togetherness. It's a powerful combination.
All right, section 5. This is where it gets really personal. Defining moments. The specific stories, the anecdotes that become, like, the family's greatest hits.
Their shared mythology, yeah. These are the crystallized memories that shape their identity. Let's start with the big ones. Memorable family vacations.
Sarah remembers a beach trip. Clearwater, Florida, around age 10.
The details are so vivid, aren't they? Staying in a small house near the beach, building big sand castles.
Swimming, collecting shells, trying to catch crabs. Very sensory, very active.
And note the big sand castles. That implies cooperation, right? Shared effort, shared goal.
Good point. You don't build a big one alone easily. Teamwork again.
And then the evenings balance the active days. Walking the pier, watching the sunset, eating seafood creates both active and peaceful memories.
Now contrast that with Johnny's big trip. Colorado mountains in winter.
A completely different environment, different challenges, skiing for the first time.
And Johnny was scared. That vulnerability is shared.
But the dad, Robert, was patient. The funny fixer becomes the patient guide.
While the sister, Laura, the artistic one, was good right away. Interesting dynamic.
It really is. And this anecdote shows that resilience teaching in practice, dad's patience provides the support needed to face the fear.
And Johnny presumably overcomes it, because the memory shifts to the reward.
Exactly. The cozy cabin, fireplace, hot chocolate, playing card games, sensory warmth and comfort after the challenge.
And the snowman. Building a very big snowman with a carrot nose, stone eyes.
That snowman is like the physical trophy of the trip, isn't it? Proof of their shared success. They faced the challenge, skiing, used their creativity, building, and ended with this tangible, happy memory.
Okay, but maybe the most revealing memory, psychologically.
Has to be the camping disaster.
Right, because this is about failure. This is where that resilience, that humor gets tested for real.
Let's break this one down carefully. The setup is already high stress. National park, trying to set up a tent at dusk.
Recipe for frustration right there.
And the dad, Robert, the designated fixer in the family, he messes up, puts the poles in wrong. The tent ends up leaning to one side.
So the plan failed. The person expected to solve the problem couldn't. This could easily spiral.
Arguments, blame, sulking, totally plausible outcomes.
But that's not what happened. What did they do?
They turned the objective failure, the wonky tent, into a positive shared story. They named it The Leaning Tent of Johnny's Family.
They didn't just laugh it off, they codified it, gave it a title.
That is narrative control at its finest. It's psychologically brilliant. They didn't ignore the failure, they embraced it, reframed it with humor, made it an inside joke.
So the memory isn't dad messed up and we're miserable.
No, the memory becomes, remember the leaning tent, that was hilarious. It reinforces that mistakes are okay, imperfection is survivable, and crucially,
The family bond is stronger than the problem.
exactly. The shared experience, the U.S., is more robust than the temporary setback of a faulty tent. It transforms struggle into a myth of resilience and shared laughter.
It's like a badge of honor. Proof they can handle chaos together. That how to laugh, lesson in action.
Perfectly put. Now let's look at some other specific anecdotes that capture that same spirit. The unique cake.
Right, Johnny's family again? Dad's birthday cake gone wrong?
Too much baking powder. Result. A huge, uneven cake, like a giant mushroom.
Described as a funny disaster, but also technically edible.
Huh. That detail is great. It validates the effort someone tried while fully embracing the hilarious outcome.
Fits with Robert's humorist rule. The message seems to be, trying is good, even if it's flawed, and we'll laugh about the flaws together.
Right. Acceptance and levity over criticism. That cake becomes a symbol of valuing effort and shared moments over perfection.
Okay, a different kind of funny from Sarah's memories.
Yeah.
The boxcar.
Yes, the 5-year-old cousin at Christmas. Gets a big toy car.
But is so excited he tries to drive it while it's still in the box, pushing the box with his feet.
It's pure, unadulterated childhood enthusiasm. What makes this a family memory, though?
Maybe it's the shared witnessing. The whole extended family probably stopped to watch this little kid's hilarious, illogical joy.
It's a moment of collective observation, delighting in innocence, a snapshot of pure, immediate desire. It captures that fun noise energy, perhaps.
And then a quieter, gentler moment from Johnny's childhood. The upside-down plan.
Yeah, learning to plant flowers with Grandma. Little Johnny puts the plan in upside down.
Could have been a moment for scolding, or just taking over.
But Grandma patiently turned it the right way. Simple, gentle correction.
Reflects that kindness and patience we heard about from Rhea's side.
It's a perfect micro lesson. Patience, respect for nature, and the low-stakes nature of learning. It's the complete opposite of high-pressure instruction.
The lesson sinks in because it's delivered with care, not criticism.
It sets a lifelong precedent. Mistakes are opportunities for gentle guidance, not reasons for shame. Hugely important for building that safe place.
And finally, one more warm tradition from Sarah's family.
The birthday meal tradition. The mother, Jane, always making the birthday person's favorite meal.
This feels very personalized.
It is. It takes Jane's organizational skills and energy and focuses them intently on one individual.
A specific, tailor-made expression of love and recognition for each person once a year.
It's customized support delivered through effort and food. A tangible way of saying, we see you, we know what you love, and we celebrate you specifically. Very powerful.
Wow. We have covered so much ground. From the deep psychological needs family meets, through the structures, the rituals, the daily activities, right down to these incredibly specific, defining stories.
It's been a really rich exploration, hasn't it, seeing how the abstract concepts play out in concrete details.
So let's try to synthesize this. If you had to pull out the single most important takeaway from Johnny and Sarah's experiences, for our listeners, what would it be?
I think the core insight is about how healthy families handle imperfection. Their stability doesn't come from avoiding problems or chaos.
Because you can't avoid it all.
Exactly. It comes from their ability to metabolize that chaos, to process it, find meaning in it, and often frame it positively through shared narratives.
Like the leaning tent.
Like the leaning tent. Family provides the safety net, yes, but it also teaches resilience by actively celebrating the effort, the shared laughter over the perfect outcome. Try your best, and if you fail, well, you might get a great story out of it.
And it feels like the consistency of the simple things matters more than we might think.
Definitely. That consistent, low-stakes togetherness, the pizza nights, the evening talks, just being in the same room, that's the engine building the day-to-day security. More, perhaps, than the big, high-pressure holiday events sometimes.
The connection is really built to those tiny, specific moments.
It is. The unique family jokes, the gestures, the shared memories of minor disasters like the mushroom cake or the upside-down plant, that fun noise.
The family thrives by just showing up for the mundane.
Because the mundane, the everyday, is what makes the whole structure feel reliable and real.
So the advice for someone wanting to build that kind of resilient, supportive family, whether it's biological or chosen?
Might be to actively make space for imperfection. Cultivate traditions that allow for shared success, sure, but maybe especially for shared, humorous failure.
You need to create your own leaning tent stories.
You really do. Which leads us perfectly, I think, to our final thought for you, the listener.
Right. As you think about your own foundations, your own connections.
If family identity is built on these stories, these anecdotes that capture love and resilience, what's the one unique story or tradition in your life?
Your personal equivalent of the Colorado snowman or the old Christmas book or that technically edible disaster cake.
What's the specific moment or ritual that, for you, perfectly captures that feeling of unconditional belonging, that resilience you rely on? Something to ponder.
Thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the heart of family. We look forward to digging into your next stack of sources with you soon.
Goodbye, everyone. Take care.